Hello, Akko here. Welcome to episode 41 of my beginner's guide, and today what we're going to be doing, we're going to carry on with the IC2 stuff. Just a little update. Slowpoke has tweeted a couple of promising things regarding the 1.5 pack coming. I'm just going to look at them really quick. And 1.5 pack created and working straight out of the box. In-house testing happening tonight. This is from yesterday. Things are looking good. And then later on he posted big chunk of the configs changes out the way. Should be able to finish most of it, if not all, tomorrow. So we may be getting a 1.5 pack pretty soon. Once we do get the 1.5 pack, I'm probably going to wrap this beginners series up because we've gone beyond beginners stuff now. I'm going to restart my main Let's Play series, and once I'm about 2 weeks in to the main Let's Play series, I'll probably start up a beginner's guide again with the new stuff, because quite a lot of stuff changes for 1.5. So I'm going to give it a couple of weeks for me to get used to all the changes, so that I'm actually showing you how to do it rather than me trying to learn at the same time. And I'll be using my Let's Play to experiment a bit, so you might want to watch a bit of that, and you might learn stuff from there. But then I'll be doing a slow paced thing again, setting up in a 1.5 version. Because, like I said, there's quite a lot of stuff different to this. Steve's Cat Tree Farm, for example, quite a few changes. Anyway, that's enough about that. So this may be the last episode of this. I'll see later on today, tomorrow morning, and I may do another episode or two. But we are pretty far advanced, so I just want to get us to the point where you've got all processing bang on, and then after that everything is pretty much getting into the end game stuff there and getting the matter fabricator and stuff like that. So what I want to do in this episode, and I apologise for this episode being late. I've been a bit ill this morning. I woke up with a banging headache, so I ended up laying in bed all morning. So I've started this. This is after dinner. I'm starting this. So usually I'm uploading by this time, but it's going to be a bit late. I apologise. Right, what we want to do. A couple of things I've done is I've wired up the machines upstairs. I don't actually need that there. I can get rid of that. Wired up the machines upstairs, and they're all connected to the network now. Let's just put that back in there and keep it tidy. Let's, oops, get a brick, cover that all back up. So I'll show you once I've covered this hole back up. Oops, there we go. So that's connected via that little elbow there. It's connected to the machines that I made and didn't blow up. So that's connected to the network now. There's nothing going on in this stuff yet though. This is all just empty. There's nothing in the export buses or anything. I've also connected the plate bender up, and again nothing set up in there yet. We are going to need one more machine. We're probably going to need two of them eventually, but I'm only going to make one just to show you how it works. But at the minute, everything we have made is connected to the network, so we can actually automate stuff. I've got no more ores come through from the quarry X. My quarry is at a high level. It's I only restarted the quarry, I think, during yesterday's episode, so it's pretty high level there. So I'm only getting copper and iron at the minute. I'm not down to tin level yet. So if you look in my chest there's no tin ore yet. No, so I've been getting copper and well, I say iron, copper and iron. What I've started doing is processing the bauxite ore that I had. I had over 1,000 bauxite ore there. So as I showed you yesterday, we've got copper in that one, we've got iron in that one, and we've got in that one there, if I can click on it, we've got bauxite ore. So that's getting processed into bauxite dust in there, as you can see. Like I said, this works so much better doing the water this way, by the way, than messing around with cells. I had it much more complicated in my other version. This round here I've wired up, but nothing's going in there yet. I may show you how I do mercury cells for that. I could make liquid mercury as well. That's interesting. I might actually make liquid mercury and pipe that into there using another tesseract. I probably will do that. I might try and do that in this episode. So bauxite's going in. So from the bauxite we're getting bauxite dust and aluminium. Aluminium needs to go into the blast furnace because it's got a temperature requirement. If you look on there, oops, I should have pressed U, shouldn't I? Press R. U. It's got a 1700 requirement, as you saw the other day, so that's what our capacity is. 1720 because I had one more. I put one more of them in because it was spare. So the aluminium's getting processed there into aluminium ingots, and at the minute the bauxite dust is just going downstairs. Well, we need to process the bauxite dust, So that's one of the first things we're going to put into our electrolyzer, which is upstairs again. And the electrolyzer also needs empty cells, so all I've done is the bottom of the electrolyzer I've added empty cells into the export bus there, and the same with the one underneath the centrifuge there, because that needs empty cells. I made a stack of empty cells, they're just tin, so I've got 4 stacks of tin, made 4 stacks of cells. So now we can add bauxite dust to there. We'll do it a stack at a time, keep it quick, and that'll start processing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to run out of cells, because obviously we're going to start getting things in cells. So we'll just see what we're going to get, and there are 2 ways we can handle this. One way would be to use a liquid transporter to take the liquid out the cells. Another way is we can just get the things out the cells using the extractor upstairs. Now this is going to produce 2 things, bauxite dust. I should have actually looked at a bit of bauxite dust and showed you. It's going to produce 2 things. It's going to produce, well, 2 things in cell form. It's going to produce 4 things. It's going to produce more aluminium dust, so we're going to get loads of that stuff. It's going to produce tiny titanium dusts, which each 4 of them is going to make us a titanium ingot, which we also need to put through the blast furnace, because that's got a temperature requirement. It's going to produce hydrogen cells and compressed air cells. Compressed air cells, I don't even think are used in much. You can use it to make saltpeter. Or you can do it shapeless into an empty cell. Or you can use an extractor into an empty cell. Well, you can use it shapeless. I'm actually worth doing that shapeless. What would the best way of doing that be? Let's not bother doing that shapeless. Let's use the extractor. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait for a couple of cells to come through. We're going to get some hydrogen and some compressed air. I'm going to set them to go through the extractor. So all they're going to do is get extracted back into empty cells. Now the hydrogen you are going to eventually use for a fusion reactor. So you could in theory save all the hydrogen up into a tank. Use a liquid extractor to extract out the cells. Save it up into a tank. But there we go. I'm not going to do that for now. I'm just going to get rid of the hydrogen, because we can make this quite easy if we want to. So there we go. We could put the cells in. It's the wrong way around. Can we actually get liquid out of it like that as well? Pretty sure we can get liquid out of it using the liquid transporter. I don't know if it saves the cell or not though. I don't actually show it there, does it? But yeah, we could also use it to make a U in a gas turbine. I suppose I should do that really. I was going to use the cell up. Well, ideally what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to keep the cells in the system so we don't have to keep making cells all the time. So for now, yeah, I'm going to put these into the extractor up here. And what that'll do is it'll just put the empty cells back into the thing. It's a bit of a waste of the hydrogen, like I said. Is that the extractor? That's the compressor. There's the extractor. So if we put them in there, all that's going to do is, no, that didn't put them in there on its own, did it? Oh, that's all there is, idiot. That's going to put them in there, and what that's going to do is it's just going to give us the empty cells back into the system, so we don't have to keep making cells. Now, as I say, you can make hydrogen a couple of ways. You can make it used by processing water. I probably should be saving it, but it's one of them things. By the time I need hydrogen, as they say, you only need hydrogen for a fusion reactor, really. By the time you need it, you can make it using many more machines. So let's have a look at how we make that. I actually want to see how we make liquid hydrogen. And you can put water into an electrolyzer, it'll get you hydrogen cells. Looks like that's the only way to actually make hydrogen in cell form. And then I'm pretty sure you can use a transporter to put it into a tank. So I could in theory be saving this into a tank. I might actually break the camera and do that just to show you. Okay, I'll do that. Back in a bit. Okay, so I'm back again, and I've done a couple of things off camera, and I'm going to show you them. First thing I did was I just got some jacketed red cable there, put it along the front of these things, and I put a lever there. So that's going to spin all these up to max and keep them there. So they'll use 2 of you a tick when they're at max when they're not operating, but it works out more efficient when you start using them. If you've got the power to use, you might as well do it. And speaking of if you've got the power to use, That one there's still full, that one there's draining pretty quick, and that one there's empty. And that's because now that I am processing bauxite dust, now let's quickly steal some of them. We've got bauxite dust to process it in the industrial electrolyzer. It actually takes 256,000 EU per set of 12. 128 EU a tick. As we worked out before, 20, 40, 60, 120, 40, 12, 144 EU a tick. Oh no, there's 3 more, don't they? 200 and some a tick, but we're not getting 256 EU a tick. So that is actually draining more than what we've got power wise. So these are eventually going to run out. So we need to be careful that we don't actually drain all these out, because Greg-tip machines, when they get stuck with no power, they keep trying to suck power, so the power never gets a chance to build back up. So we're going to have to be careful with that. We haven't actually got enough power from our EU system just yet to actually support what we're doing, because of course we're using power there, and when we're getting copper and iron we're using it there and there as well. So we're actually, and aluminium in there, so that's taking power as well. What's that taking? Again, if you look on the thing there, that's taking 25,000 each ingot. So that's why we're going to run out pretty quick if I keep everything running with the amount of power we've got at the minute. So that's an issue. It's no good. We need to start getting more power in there. And of course we could do it using some sort of steam power, because I mean we've got loads of steam power. We could convert it into EUs using these. And actually, speaking of steam power, we've got plenty of steam power. We've also got loads of fuel capability as well. If you look in here now, we've got like 2,000, nearly 3,000 oily propolis, and we've got nearly 1,000 petroleum. So we could actually definitely run another boiler, easy run another boiler. So at this point I probably should be looking at making another boiler. On top of that, we've got all this phosphor that can make into lava, so we could expand the lava usage from the nether anyway, but we could also expand it from that. So we've got loads of options for producing more power. At the minute I'm just going to leave it as it is, because it's not that important that I get it running as good as I could do. But what I'd need to be doing now, if I was on a server, is start to make more power. And I'd probably, if I was playing on a server at the minute, I'd probably go with the power converters, use steam power. But before, when I've done this, I've used solar panels, which I probably should make in this episode as well. But what I have done in this episode is now, off camera, I put another iron tank together just to show you how you could do this more than anything else. And we've got a liquid transposer there, connected it to the power, connected it to the ME network with an export bus and import bus. Export bus has got hydrogen cells in there, and so the side of that's blue. The bottom of that is set to that blank with the 4 dots, which means any empty cells go at the bottom. And the right side there is set to output to yellow, which is a liquid output. So we can connect this to there. There we go. We've now got a tank of hydrogen. So that's how you can get anything that goes into cells. I mean, I'll just use hydrogen as an example here, but anything that gets put into cells, we can store all that. So that's worth knowing. You might want to, rather than get rid of the cells or do the way by just getting rid of the hydrogen, we could save the hydrogen off. And the cells are going back into the system. As you see, the cells pop into there. So we're not actually using any cells. We just need a place to store. So you could have tanks for all the different materials you're going to get, which is pretty cool to know. So that's how you get liquid out of cells using a liquid transposer. Now the next thing we need to do is we're starting to get these. We're starting to get tin ore as well. Cobblestone and dirt. Why are we getting them? I know why we're getting them. Okay, we're getting them because I had to break that cable to fasten that ME network thing in there. So instead of these getting destroyed, they're now getting put into there, which is not good. We need to sort this out real quick, because it's going to become more of an issue the longer it goes on. Let's get all these out of there, and that dirt. And now the stuff will go back into the incinerator again. Just to explain what happened there is, when I broke that pipe there, that ME cable, it disconnected this incinerator from the network, so it put the cobble and the dirt that came through at that time into the chest there, instead of into the incinerator because it was no longer connected. So when I reconnected it, even though the priority is lower on that, because there's some in here, it'll keep coming in here. So I've just had to take them out of there, and I can put them back in to the network, and it'll get rid of them again. So you've got to be aware of that when you're breaking cables, because we could end up with a chest full of this stuff that we don't want. So let's just get rid of all that again. And while we're messing about, let's run upstairs and put tin into the system. So tin can go with copper. That'll do. So that'll start processing tin as well now. So the problem we're getting now is we're getting all these tiny dusts, and we just start sorting these out. Yeah, I've got loads of bauxite dust, so that's going to take all the power really quick. Getting pretty low on bauxite ore. What I'm going to do for now is turn off the bauxite processing, which is in the electrolyzer. So when you are low on power, you need to be aware of this. Let's turn that to active wig signal, and it's probably got a signal from there. Yeah, that's okay. So I actually wanted active without signal. That should stop it, I think. Come on. Sorry, got a bit quiet there. That's still working. That's on. Active without signal. Active with signal. Bugger it, let's just take that off for now and leave it that as to always active. That's the easiest way of doing it. That should allow us to get a bit of power back into these. It's still using more than what we're getting, but with that turned off, once that cycle's finished, we should be alright, I think. Okay, what we need is we need to start processing these dusts, these tiny dusts, into big dusts, into like normal sized dusts, if you know what I mean, and then we can process them into ingots. So what we need is a grid tip machine. Well, you can do this a couple of ways, but the easiest way I found is using a grid tip machine called a auto crafting table. Is that it? No, YML. Electric crafting table. That's what I believe we need. Yep, so let's make some of that. Electrum plates, an RE battery, a crafting table, an advanced machine block, some advanced circuits. Okay, that's going to take a little bit of doing. Let's put that in there for now. So first of all, 4 electrum plates. Let's get some electrum. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to go in the plate bender upstairs. And then back down here. I think I may have to cut the camera because I might be out of carbon plates. So I'll cut the camera. I'll get this stuff made, the bits made to make this, and then I'll be back. Okay, back again. Made some carbon plates, so I can now make a advanced machine block, which is what we needed to complete this. I need my electrum plates, which should be there. They are excellent, and advanced circuits. There they are. Advanced circuits are auto crafted. Okay, so if we look at that electric crafting table, that's a 32 input. There's 32 output as well, so it looks like that works as you can run current through it by the look of it, which is quite interesting. And we are going to need an import and export bus. So I'll make one of them and one of them real quick using the auto crafting, and then we can go upstairs and put this together. I just actually need some ME cable as well. Why? Grab some of that, and then bus. There's them, and let's grab some dust. Now, like I say, I'm probably going to need 2 of these crafting tables because you end up getting, as you can see here, you end up getting a lot of dust. We've already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've already got 6 there, and we're not even processing silver or gold. We are, but we're not getting, like, once we start processing gold, we'll start getting copper dust and stuff like that. So this is going to need to be expanded, but I just wanted to show you how this works, just so you know it works. And what we can do for now is, in this extremely messy setup, we can just stick that there. There we go. And I want the exit there. Okay, looks like these run through, so I have to move this up one because I ain't got a good way to get input and export on it. I'm going to break this for now. I'm going to get another bit of cable and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, back. I had to take some more cable because I'd run out. So it's probably a good idea that I did break the camera there, because you didn't need to see me make more glass fibre cable. And okay, let's put that way again. I don't actually want it that way. I wanted the green that way, but yeah, I don't suppose that don't really matter, does it? Let's have the green that side. So export bus goes to green. Import bus on the red. That actually works out quite nicely. It connects back to everything. Okay, that's fine then. And then what we can do is put our tiny dusts into here, and we want it to move stacks at a time just so it fills it up nice and quick. And what I found with this is if you put 8 things in, oops, shit, which one have I missed there then? Zinc, is it? No, I've got zinc there. Nickel, titanium, there we go. If you put 8 things in, then things get stuck in this. Alright, hang on a minute. What we need to do with this is it's got different modes, and we're looking for dusts mode, that one there. What I should now start doing is turning things into dust. But what happens is, as you can see here, if that bottom square gets filled up, it doesn't actually work. So what I need to do is just stop that for a second. So this is a bit weird. Ideally, what's going on here? There we go. Now it's working. See there? It's no, is it balls working? Right, it's turning them to gold dust. So something's working. What I've noticed with this, if things get to that bottom square there, they just go straight through the machine. So you can only actually have 8 things in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can't have 9 things going into it, but that's alright because there's only 8 things that I can put in there anyway. But once you get things worked out, it'll go through all them gold dust until there's no more gold dust. Then it'll cycle through to the next thing that's in here. So it'll keep cycling through and trying to change whatever dust is there into large dusts. So let's keep that out there for now. Oops, and that. So yeah, as long as you've got to keep that bottom thing empty there. So you need to have it so it keeps in front, which is why the issue is here, because I've let things build up a bit. It's trying to put in more than the actual machine can hold. So once you've caught up, so there's less than 64 of each thing, then it'll keep doing it and it'll keep on top. But until you get to that point, you kind of got to babysit a little bit. So if we look down at our machine down here, really I'm going to have to get rid of these stairs. I've mentioned it loads of times. We've got to get through. There's going to be the main rail hold up there. Let's just take them off for now. And you see it's created some dust that it's put in here. Gold dust, for example, zinc dust. So let's take all them up for now. Let's put these in manually so it's caught up. Then once it's caught up, it should be fine. Should be fine. So how's this going? Yeah, let's put a couple of stacks of them in there. So I'm going to let it burn through these, turn all these into dust, and that's going to take a little while, so I'll be back when that's done. Okay, back, and it's caught up now, so we can turn this back on, and we should be alright now. Always active. So yeah, we look like we're alright. So as long as you don't get things into that 9 slot, it'll just keep turning your things into full-size dusts, which is good. Let's check out what's our power doing. We're still using more power than we're getting, so I still have to be careful with this. So there's your auto crafting table. It works. It turns things into dust quite nicely. As I said, you are going to need 2 of these eventually because you get that many dusts that one is not enough. And the thing is, 1 might be enough if it cleared things out, but it doesn't. So like these there, because there's only 3 gold dust and 3 zinc dust, they'll just stay in there until we get a 4th one in. But the good thing about this over something like the packager, which is another way of doing this, is the packager, if it gets 3 zinc dust in it, it'll stick until it gets a 4th one, so everything else will get backed up behind it. What this does, it cycles through. It'll, every couple of seconds or every second or so, it'll try and do the next thing along. If it can't, it'll keep cycling through. So once we've got rid of these, you should see this cycling through. So come on, hurry up. Let's wait for this to do 4 more, 5 more. And then we shall see that, there we go. So there's nothing left there that it can actually do at the minute. So all it's going to do is going to keep trying. So it's going to keep cycling through what's in there until it gets a 4th one of any of them. And as soon as it gets a 4th one, it'll process it and then it goes to the next thing. So there you go. That's how you make your tiny dusts into your main big dusts. And then once we've got the dusts, we can add these to our, that wants to be in the blast furnace. We've got 700 aluminium to deal with already. Is that everything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What am I missing? Oh, aluminium. We've already got aluminium in there. Okay. So the titanium will want to be in the blast furnace, along with the aluminium, which is going to take ages. And the rest of the stuff, I want to be into whatever furnace you're using. So in our case, at the minute, we're using that one there. Tin, nickel, zinc, gold, and it looks like I forgot iron, but we've already got iron in there, so that's alright. So there we go, that's our dust processing. Right, the last thing I'm going to do with this episode is a good way of creating power early on. Well, not early on. A good way of building up power is using solar panels. Now, solar panels need a bit talking about on their own because there's quite a few type. Let's have a look. Put in solar panel. Now, these are the 4 IC2 solar panels. That's from Red Power, that's from Factorization, that's from GregTech. And there's all kind of different stuff. Light Elements, GregTech, I think. These are all Steve's Cart stuff, and then there's a solar panel, the nano suit and gravity suit stuff. So ignore all that. It's these 4 things we're going to be looking at. These are 4 tiers of the solar panel. Now these are the basic IC2 ones. Basic silicon plates. These only put 1 EU a tick, so you need to make a lot of them for it to make it worthwhile. But these can be upgraded, first of all, to these advanced solar panels. For these, you need something called Scenarium, which uses UU matter. So you can't actually make these until you've got a matter fabricator when you're using GregTech. So they're out of our reach for now because we've not got a matter fabricator. Then once you've got them, they can upgrade again using more and more expensive stuff. That uses more glowstone and refined uranium. Of course, we can get both of them from bees, so that makes that quite easy if you follow my path with the bees. And then eventually, ultimate hybrids. These put 512 EU a tick out each, which is really nice. 1 of these will run pretty much all your machines. 2 of these will definitely run all your machines. What we can do is we can make some of these. And for these we need silicon plates, and for silicon plates we need silicon cells. Silicon cells we get from centrifuging. Easiest way of doing it. You get one there from doing centrifuging redstone, but electrolyzing sand is a good way of doing it. So each 16 sand, so each stack of sand will get you 4 silicon cells. 4 silicon cells will get you 2 silicon plates, and 2 silicon plates will make you 1 solar panel. So every stack of sand gets you enough silicon for that. So what we need to do is add sand to the electrolyzer, and it's the cheapest way of doing it. It's not the only way. While we've got this processing, I'll show you another way of doing it. So I'll put sand in there for now. I'll take that box right out. I'm going to process some sand into silicon. Now, as I said with the other liquids, we could make a tank of silicon, like we've made with the hydrogen. You can make a tank of anything, but we're not going to for now. We're just going to let's get a few stacks of that sand turned into silicon, and let's have a little look at what else we can use to make silicon while we're looking at that. So, what did I say there was there? So there was centrifuge. You can process redstone. Now that's actually quite useful because that also gets us mercury, which is what we need to process the other stuff in the grinder, like the ferrous ore that I mentioned, and it also gets us ruby dust, which can be made into chrome. Parrot dust not so important, but the other 3 things are quite good. So let's just sample that. Let's throw a stack of redstone into the centrifuge. We've not used the centrifuge yet. This will be the first time we've used it. There we go. There's the centrifuge. Bang a stack of redstone in there. That'll get us a bit of ruby dust, a bit of silicon, and a bit of mercury, which is pretty cool. Now mercury I should really put into a tank. like I have done with the hydrogen. I may do that off camera. The other way you can get mercury, of course, is processing quicksilver through a liquid transposer, I believe. You can it, and that'll get you a mercury cell. Looks like that's the only way of doing that. Okay, I thought you could turn that into liquid mercury as well, but it looks like you cannot. It looks like the only way you can do that is using another GregTech machine called a canning machine. Let's ignore that for now. Let's look at solar panels. A canning machine will be pretty simple to make. Really quick, let's just look at that. Alright, canning machine, was that it? It's just a normal canning machine and a conveyor module. Conveyor module is like a basic GregTech upgrade thing. A canning machine, tin, machine block, circuit. So yeah, real basic IC2 stuff. We can ignore that for now. So solar panel, let's look at. So we need carbon plates, which we've got, generators, electronic circuits, glass panes, all pretty straightforward. Let's make 2 stacks of them. So it's 2 stacks of them. We're going to stack a carbon plate, so we need to get more coal processing through our pulverizer or through our macerator upstairs. And I should automate that as well, really. Glass is no issue, and silicon plates, we're just waiting for the silicon. So now we've got a bit of silicon, which we have there. We can put that through the blast furnace, that's right, isn't it? Industrial blast furnace, yeah, so 2 of them go into the industrial blast furnace. Now, because we're doing this way, let's just take them 2 out for now. Let's put that in there. We'll put 1 at a time in, so if you're doing this automatically, it could jam your system up, because you may end up with 1 in there. So if you've got this plus aluminium in and stuff like that, then you can get jammed up because you end up with 1 like that is there, that would be stuck with 1. As we get more of this, it's alright, but what you'd really want to do with that is have a separate blast furnace there with an ME interface on top with a recipe in for that. 2 silicon cells make 1 silicon plate. That's the ideal way of doing that, by making more blast furnaces. We'll leave that for now. And what I should do is process that coal. We need quite a bit of coal, so let's say each stack of coal gets us 8 plates, and I want 64. So I macerate some coal. Goes pretty quick in there. Could you have an ME interface on there as well, really? I think everything we're going to be putting there is probably going to be recipe-wise. I say at some point I double these up, so I've got 2 of each. 1 for an export bus and 1 for an interface. Well, I'll leave as is for now. Right. As soon as we've got enough silicon plates. Cool, so they actually need bending. Cool, so they actually give you silicon plates as soon as you get them. We can start looking at making some solar panels. Let's put that recipe in there. And I'm going to go big with it. I want to go... Oh, no glass. Everything bloody runs out. I need to automate my sand still. Ain't going to be enough. Okay, no worries. We'll make what we can, because we ain't got enough ain't got enough other stuff yet anyway. Let's just bang some stuff in there. So we just need generators. Generators, iron furnace, 3 refined iron and an RE battery. So I've got a couple of iron furnaces there. Let's make a stack of RE batteries. Oh, a copper cable as well. Okay, we're out of all kind of stuff here. Let's make some more copper cable, which we should be able to craft them into existence. No, I've not put a recipe in for them yet. Okay, let's manually make some of them then. And for that I need to make some... No, I don't. Got some rubber there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Aye, idiot. Shift click and put them straight back into me. Straight back into me, ME network. There we go, let's make a load more of them, because I've not done a manual recipe for them yet. Now we can make a stack of RE batteries. So, say the way it's worth doing with these, if you're going to do it, you might as well make a stack of them. Once you've actually got the ability to upgrade your solar panels, though, now the way I'm doing it here, this is only stacking 16s by the way. You can upgrade solar panel into an advanced solar panel, and then you've got with the hybrid you've got two ways of doing it. You can have there's only one way of doing it now. I thought there was two ways of doing that. That's where there's two. Okay, so one normal solar panel becomes one solar panel, one advanced becomes one hybrid, and then that one hybrid you can upgrade into an ultimate, or you can make these into 8 of them, and then you can upgrade it like that with 8. The recipe is a bit cheaper doing it this way. So by making 64 solos, in theory, you're making enough to end up with 64 ultimate hybrids. So it's still actually cheaper than making all these. That's probably confusing. Ignore that bit. It's nothing else. 64 solos is not ideal, but it's alright. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So as you see, this is quite a big style of making stuff, and I don't actually want. There we go. Best way of doing that. See that I picked the 4 up, then right click that, so it made it into a stack of 64 rather than making extras that I didn't want. And then what is it? 3 refined iron. So I ain't got enough refined iron. I need to make some more of them. Let's go to craftable again, and let's ask it to make a couple of stacks. 3 stacks of refined iron. I'll be back in a bit when all this is cooked, and we'll put some stuff together. Hello, I'm back, and this video's getting quite long, so I need to wrap it up pretty quick. A couple of things I forgot to add into here is one thing we can do. Oops, down here. We'll go in that one. Is we can add galena ore to there now. Start processing galena ore as well. Galena ore becomes a couple of things. What the hell was that? Galena ore becomes galena dust, sulfur dust. Now, galena dust can then be put through electrolyzer to get silver dust, lead dust, and sulfur dust. So we get quite a lot of sulfur out of that. Let's leave it as galena dust and sulfur dust for now. And so that's galena sorted. That was in here. And also, monazite ore we can start putting through the macerator just to turn into forcisium, which is for modular force field system that we probably won't be getting onto in this series, but if you want to see how that works, modular force field system, my let's play, I used quite a bit. I had some force field doors and stuff in there. That's forcisium, that's what you use to power that. Right, so now real quick before I go, let's make some solar panels, and up to now it's processed enough sand to get 16 silicon plates. So that's going to get us 8 solar panels. I've got most of the rest of the stuff together there. I need to make some more bloody, what do they call them? Coal dust. Coal dust. I've got loads of coal dust. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll do. Sorry about this. I should have done this off camera before I came back on. Let's real quickly just turn this into these guys. And now they should go straight into. Yep, they are good. They're going straight into the system, into the compressor up there, and getting compressed into plates. So we should see plates coming in, and we can. Excellent. That'll do for now. So all we need is some iron furnaces. Iron furnaces are just 8 iron in a square. Refined iron and batteries. These to get the generator. There's 2 ways of doing this. I had a couple of iron furnaces, so I did it that way. You can do it with normal furnaces and machine blocks. Each of them takes 8 refined iron. 8 iron. That takes 3 refined iron and 8 iron to make that. That actually just takes 8 refined iron. So that's actually cheaper. I should have done that way. That takes cobble, 8 iron, and the batteries. That takes 8 iron plus 3 refined iron. So that's actually more expensive on iron. But it's okay now. Oops, it's done now. And can do is make 64 of them, so eventually I'm going to end up with 64 of these solar panels. So in that recipe there we go, and so we have enough silicon plates to make 8. What we can do, these will only put 1 of you a tick each in, but we can go up, and this is why I left the roof off for the day, but I had to put it back on because we was getting explosions. We can start changing the roof for solar panels. Let's do a little square of 8 around there here. Like so. And gradually you can turn this into 64 solar panels, and then at your leisure, and as you get a matter fabricator, you could start upgrading them to become the advanced ones. Because I say you need Cenarium, which uses UMU matter to make the upgraded ones. So we can fasten that to here, and ideally we want another MFSU. And let's actually connect that there as well. Just, we don't really need to, but ideally we want another MFSU. Don't want that there. All this is going to do is put things straight into the network, but it's actually better in it. So we'll get some. Only 80 U a tick will be added to this 240. So it's really is minor at the minute. That's still all going down. That's actually going back up a bit, I think. Now we're down to 900 odd. So build up solar panels like so. You can just wire them up like this, and as you get more, you can improve the power they're putting out up until you've got the 512 U a tick ones, and then you've got loads of power. So that's the way you'd go with IC2. Right, I'm going to cut it there because I'm well over 40 minutes, I think, and I don't want to keep you guys for too long. As always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you watching, and I hope that I'm still being entertaining and providing a bit of info that's actually showing you what to do in Feed the Beast. As always, any suggestions or queries always welcome. Anything you want to see me make, please ask. Hopefully we'll get a 1.5 version today, as I said at the start of the program, and so this might actually be the last of these episodes, but if it is the last, I'll be back in a couple of weeks with a 1.5 version of the beginner's guide, and if it isn't the last, I'll be back tomorrow. So either way, I'll see you tomorrow, either on this or my new Let's Play. So cheers, bye.